Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zone around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's Thursday, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. and 9 a.m. in Tokyo. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we're so glad to have you aboard with us as usual. We're here every Thursday at this time, and we come for a whole full hour. And the purpose of the show is to get you involved in the show, too, because it's personal. We all get together, I throw out a conversation piece and we'll talk about it. And then that gives you a chance to think about what you want to talk about, and you could horn in too, and you type it in. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, your questions, and what have you, all coming up right here for the whole full hour. And we thank you again for being with us. If you have a friend that you know that doesn't know anything about this show, get in touch with them right now. Have them join us. The more, the merrier. It's a party that everybody's welcome to. And you need no union card, no kind of representation or anything. All you have to do is just come in. We're broadcasting live, and we're broadcasting live on YouTube and Instagram. We usually broadcast on Facebook. However, Facebook, we're not on Facebook. We have been off of Facebook for a long while. As a matter of fact, it will be about a month or 2 months since we've been on Facebook. But the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, that next week at this time, we will be back live on Facebook, okay? I think our term of rejection from Facebook, or I guess as you call it, punishment or whatever it is it's subsiding now. It's going to be over by next week. But here's one thing that I must talk about. Now, Facebook, we talk about Facebook, right? We've been off the air for Facebook simply because, a lot of you already know about it. If you're regular people to the show, you already know about it. We've been off Facebook because we had posted something that really wasn't offensive to anyone. It had nothing to do about offensive or anything like that. It was just one of those posts that they didn't agree with, that didn't measure up to their standards or whatever their standards are on Facebook. And so they gave us 59 days, rounding it off to 2 months, right, of no broadcasting on Facebook. But that's all over now. Next week, we'll be back on. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is that this week, I had received notification from Facebook that there was another posting that was picked up on my part that that shouldn't have been posted. Okay, now I don't know. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. They didn't give any kind of a notification that we will not be broadcasting because of that. So let's keep our fingers crossed. So until we get that information, we will be back on Facebook Live starting next week at this time as we do our show here, Talk Back Live. So we look forward to that. I definitely look forward to that. But in the meantime, we're still broadcasting on YouTube and Instagram. And no matter where you go around the world, we'll be right there with you. We're global. We broadcast live each week. Coming up later on in the program, of course, as usual, Brian Camp will be here coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he has sports to talk about. The latest developments in today's world of sports is part of the show called Sports Update that's coming along, and we're looking forward to that. We'll see all of that coming in. Also, we will be giving you information about those classic movies that you love so much. We get them every week. It's my pick of the week for the weekend that adds to your bucket list of things to do, especially if you're not doing anything special. You want to sit back, kick back, relax, and watch TV. I have those classic films from Turner Classic Movies I will relay to you. I'll convey that to you a little later on too. And later on, we'll also talk about this day in history. We have that information coming up. And as I said, it's you and me and all of us together. We invite you to come on in. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please be aware that you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. We would love that. I want to push that. I would like every one of you who watch us to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This way, whenever times come on, when we come on live or whenever we post something, a video of some sort, you'll get a chance to see it. You will be having what they call a notification. It'll pop right up there for you, and you can see it right away. But in the meantime, also get your family and friends to join us too. We would love to have you all aboard with us. Got all of that out of the way, and here we are once again on a Thursday. The week really went fast, right? And all of the well, not the holiday, but the religious weeks, or as they call it, what do they call it? The Holy Month, or Holy, oh no, the Holy Week. The Holy Week, all of that is over. As a matter of fact, the last day of Passover was last Saturday. So all of that is in the wind now, and so we look forward to other activities that are coming along. A lot of things are coming along. So all that is over. And so we thank you again for being with us. And gee, it's been a long day today. It's been a long day. I had a chance to watch the baseball game. I love the Yankees. You know me. You know, that's my team, the Yankees. I'm not going to say too much about it because Brian will come in and he'll talk about that. And then I'll chime in and tell him how proud I am of those New York Yankees. They won their 6th in a row. And I'm loving it. I'm having a good time. And by the way, they're in first place. They're in first place on the American League East. First place. And so let's see how long we can hold on to that. Listen, I'm with the team, whether they're down and out. It's like being married, for better or worse, right? But I'm really so proud of the Yankees. They did what they did today. It's great. Okay, you know, yeah, we talk about the people in Ukraine too. We talk about that. We want to talk about that too. We still keep our thoughts and our hearts open to them. You know, there's a war going on. I don't have to tell you about that. You know, I think we're in 7 to 8 weeks into the war now, and it's Russia. I understand that they're losing traction, and they still making the threat to Ukraine that if they don't stop, we'll continue to bomb. If they don't, what they call surrender, you know, I yield, you know, I mean, listen, you know, Ukrainians are not doing that. They're not going that route. They're fighting to the bitter end. And I'm just glad that a lot of the people got out of there and found refuge across the border. And people have welcomed them and brought them in, took care of their little children. And the husbands sent their wives over. In some cases, when their wives took the kids over, the wives came back to be with their husbands. So I'm just, you know, it's a lot of things going on. Of course, as you already know, it's needless to say, everybody's dying every day over there. And so we're just keeping our fingers crossed. Want to say hello to all of you people who are coming in. I see a lot of people who are coming in. You guys there on YouTube and you guys on Instagram. Thanks for coming in. And I just want to give a hearty wave to each and every one of you. Well. As I said, this month, okay, we're finished with it, right? We're finished with Holy Week. We're finished with this Holy Week thing. And as you already know, this is, we've got so many things coming up, lined up, months, days, and things like that. Today, did you know today? I don't know if you knew it. I don't even know if you really care about it. But today, I don't know why I'm even mentioning it. I guess just for conversation. All right. But today is Headshot Day, Photo Headshot Day. I found out about it. And, you know, it's funny. A lot of people are posting headshots from way back when they were younger. You know, some headshots were younger, and then next to it are the up-to-date ones. So, and then some people, they posted just one single headshot, you know. And it was not just for people of notoriety, although most of them are people of notoriety who had chimed in on that on Facebook and hashtagging it. And a lot of ordinary people are doing it. So I saw a lot today. I mean, I didn't take things for gospel. I didn't think it was, when I heard about it, I said, you know what, how do I know that? It's true that today is Headshot Day. National Headshot Day, right? I didn't know, so how would I know? So I didn't want to take that, even though people were posting it and everybody jumping on the bandwagon about it, but I wanted to go further to find out if it was really true. And I researched it, I looked it up, and today is actually that. So I didn't post anything until I made sure it was true. So it is true. And I posted a little cute picture of myself when I was a little baby. Well, not a little baby, but when I was younger. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see it there. It's a cute little picture when I was 17. It was a very good year. No, I was older than 17, but I was quite young back then. Fresh face. Anyway, so that's what today's date is. And you kind of wonder how these people come up with these ideas on what's National Day and this National Week and National Month. And, where do these people come up with this stuff? Chime in on things like that. And I know that we have legitimate things too, like monthly things, like every year, we have like what they call a Black History Month, which is in February, which we had already, and they had Women's History Month, which was the following month. And of course, we had Hispanic Heritage Month, which was, funny thing about that it didn't start on the actual month, the first day. It started like in the middle of the month and goes into the middle of the following month, from September to October. And so we had that. And there were more on the way. Next month is May. And so May marks Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Okay, there's another one. Now, this thing about May, it's silly, but I'll bring it out to you anyway. Every year in the month of May, I came up with this idea and I just kept it to myself. I didn't make it national, and I didn't push for it or anything like that. This is just between me and myself. I made May, and this is only me, again, let me repeat it. I made May National Cream Cheese Month. Because every May, I always have like my cream cheese on a bagel, which, by the way, my preferred bagel is sesame, all right? And lox, for the month of May, nothing but lox and bagels and cream cheese, and even cream cheese on a roll, cream cheese on the fingertips, cream cheese spread on crackers, it was all cream cheese. And I did that, and I still do every month. And now that I know that Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is that month, there's no use in me spreading that, because I was going to do it. I was going to put it out there. I was going to create it, because I want to figure out how people create these things and it sticks. So I am not going to do that, because the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is more important than National Cream Cheese Month. Don't you think? However, they do have a cream cheese brownie day in the month of May. I'm not sure of what day it is. You're going to have to look at that. You're going to have to research that. But they do have that. I researched it, but I didn't catch the actual day that it was. It's called the Cream Cheese Brownie, National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. That's some kind of mix, isn't it? That's some kind of mix. Anyway, those are the days that we have. You wonder how these things come along. I'm going to try to create something. Now you got to realize, folks, it's only 12 days in a month. So every month, you got to remember, every month, whatever month that has something legitimate, like the ones I just said, the holidays that celebrates these months, you don't want to cross it with another one and give them the month. So whatever month is left, and I'm going to have to research that further, whatever month is left, I'm going to have to find out what's open, and then I'm going to try to create something. I'm going to look thoroughly on each month and see what month holds a specific event that's important. And of course, you're not going to create something that's non-important, that's something as versus something that's important, you know. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're talking back live. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to all of you. Talk Back Live. And of course, it's 15 minutes past the hour. And in case you're just joining us for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, don't make it your last time. As a matter of fact, make it your weekly habit to join us here to engage in conversation. And those of you who want to speak on anything, of course, I am so willing to talk to you guys. And again, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to get back on Facebook because, you know, we had a lot of people or have a lot of people out there that were following us on Facebook, but wasn't aware and probably thinking that we're not on the air anymore. Wasn't aware that we're over here live, still live, on YouTube, on Instagram, and not knowing that, although, you know, each week I posted on my Facebook page like early in the morning to make sure people get a hang of it and see that, you know, oh yeah, we'll Talk Back Live tonight. And I give you the direct link and you can go there and you can catch us right here. I was just hoping a lot of people have the foresight to do that. But some people, there are some people that are not always into you know, like YouTube or something like that. They like to stick with Facebook, or they like to stick with Instagram. They don't want to shift. But I will be glad when we get back next week on Facebook. This way, we'll be back home and we'll talk to everybody and we'll see if we can get our bills back once again. Okay, it's time to go to Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Charlotte, North Carolina, that's the Queen City. You can't deny that, the Queen City. Brian Camp is right there with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And I'm pretty sure you got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I got a lot to talk about your New York Yankees. I can tell you that much.
Just before you came on, I was saying how proud I was, but I said I wasn't going to say too much about it, but I said, you come on and knocked on that.
Yeah. But good evening to you and to everybody else. It is 68 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it was very comfortable temperatures. It was spring-like temperature. I know in some places it was cold this morning, but it was kind of a little chilly here too, 47 degrees. But then within a couple of hours, it shoots up 20 degrees higher and it rises up to at least 78 degrees. So that's where we were today with lots of sunshine today. But let me get to the sports. NFL football tonight just started just maybe 17 minutes ago. The NFL draft is started. Round one of the NFL draft kick off at tonight, right now in Las Vegas. It's going to be started at 8 o'clock, but you watch it later because we're on the show here. So I want nobody to sneak and watch, go to ESPN. You need a question, just ask me and I'll tune you in and give you some updates. Round two of the draft will be Friday and Saturday. Both days will be rounds 2 through 7. And both days, again, it'll be on ESPN. So that's where we stand. Major League Baseball has allowed to carry 14 pitchers through May 29th. Now, remember, we had a shortening of the lockout, but Major League Baseball and the union announced yesterday teams may carry as many as 14 pitchers through, like I said, through May 2nd through the 29th. It's for player health purpose because of the shortened spring training that followed the lockout, because it was threatened to have a lockout. And this is what happened. So to the 29th of May, you could carry 14 pitchers. Usually it was always around 12, but they've given you more time. Now, back to the feature story here with the New York Yankees. Let me tell you something. The evil empire, that's what many people call, because of George Steinbrenner back in the early 70s and so on, and to even now, they're known as the evil empire. Now this is what's been happening. This came down a couple of days ago. A year's old letter sent by Major League Baseball to the New York Yankees details they're accused of using of technology, illegal technology during the 2015 and 2016 season that was relatively began with the context of the sign stealing scandals that occur around the game at the same time. So somebody in the organization, the Yankees, stealing signs. Now, earlier this month, a U.S. Second Court of Appeals denied the Yankees' request to keep the letter from Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred. Now, they tried to keep it away. It didn't work. And also to try to keep it from Yankees GM Brian Cashman under seal. Now, Manfred, who's the commissioner, letter contains information about technology violations that occur before the commissioner issue a memo to all teams in September of 2017, a mandate that was regarded as a benchmark in the involving concern about sign stealing, which means when a catcher is given his signals, somebody is either on the opposite side or got a secret camera, is stealing signs. Now, check this out. Within the sport. Now, Manfred had warned teams that he would hold the front office and staffers accountable for the violations. Yes, and the violators may face penalties that include possible loss of draft picks. Now, remember a couple of years ago, the Houston Astros was caught sign stealing, and they was trying to win a World Series, but they got caught. Well, they did win the World Series, and 1 year later they got caught, and a lot of people got fired and lost their jobs. And the LA Dodgers were pissed off because they felt that the World Series ring should have been overturned, and the Dodgers should be world champions. Can't do that. Once it's over, it's finished. You can't change it. It's in the history book. Houston Astros, World Series champion. LA Dodgers gotta eat it and suck it up, and that's it. That's it. But now the Yankees are being accused. So we will find out more about this. Let's see what happens. But the great New York Yankees of the house that Babe Ruth built.
And you say that with a smile.
I'm saying it with arrogance. And Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, and Derek Jeter, Thurman Munson, all those Yankee greats. Whitey Ford, the so-called great Yankee team has been accused of sign stealing. But again, this is another black guy, if this is true, on Major League Baseball, and it goes on and on and on. This day in sports, April 28th, 1931, program for women athletes approved for the 1932 Olympics track and field. 1956, Cincinnati Reds outfielder Frank Robinson hits his first of 586 home runs. 1961, Warren Spahn pitches his second no-hitter at the age of 41 years of age, and he beat my San Francisco Giants 1-0. We're not going to talk about that anymore, but yes, that's what happened. 1965, Lindsey Nelson, remember him? The famous announcer for the New York Mets, and he did other sports. Well, Lindsey Nelson broadcast a baseball game at the Astrodome from hanging from a gondola. What's a gondola? That's a rowing boat. So he broadcast a game from a rowing boat. How he did that, I don't know. But Lindsey Nelson did that. Mr. Colorful and Silver. He used to wear those colorful suit jackets and everything. They used to blind you. 1967, Muhammad Ali refuses induction into the United States Army and stripped of his boxing title. 1985, Billy Martin named New York Yankee manager for the fourth time. Fourth time, yes. 1987, NBA announces expansions to the Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat, and in 1988, the Minneapolis Timberwolves and Orlando Magic for 1989. So They had 2 teams added for 1988, was approved, and 2 teams for 1989. This happened in 1987. 1990, Boston Celtics scored most points in a playoff game by beating the Knicks 157 to 128. And birthdays, today, Barry Larkin, born in Cincinnati, Ohio, played for the Cincinnati Reds and homebred and everything. And that's sports, ladies and gentlemen.
Lindsey Nelson, back in the day, well, he did wear those wild colors. I used to get blind watching him.
Yeah.
Lindsey Nelson, if my memory serves me correctly, didn't on the off season of baseball, he did some football, didn't he?
He did football. Yes, he did. He did football. He was also the local telecast. He did a lot of sports from back in the day. But what I remember about him, he used to do the Mets. He was the Mets play-by-play man with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner. Yeah. But he did college football as well too. Yeah. And he was so good that he was also taken away from the local games, the Mets broadcast, and did the national telecast games on the weekend. So Lindsey Nelson, yeah, he's been around, but he did other sports, college football, among a whole lot of other sports. Lindsey Nelson has been around, yes.
Yeah, you know, and between the 3 of them, Lindsey Nelson, Bob Murphy, and Ralph Kiner was out of the 3 of them, the only one that played Major League Baseball. He played for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes, back in the 40s. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Ralph Kiner. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these announcers, I'm okay with the announcers coming up. They come off the field and into the announcers booth, but see, these guys know the game. These guys know the game, and they can teach the legitimate announcers a thing or two. They may have questions about it, and they can go back and do that. But these days, that was back then, but these days, all they have to do is get on a computer, because each one of those guys have a computer. And if they don't know anything, they can Google it, research it. Like
well, what they do nowadays, once a player at any sports, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever, once they finish their playing career, they want to go into broadcasting. They do go to broadcasting school. There's a school in Connecticut who's highly regarded nationally, with a lot of people from ESPN or the other sports networks. They go to school in Connecticut for broadcasting, and that's where they get their training from. Yeah.
Yeah. The Yankee broadcasting. I'm not gonna look. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take anything away from
Michael Kay.
I don't want to take anything away from him. I really don't. But I loved. He's retired now. Kenny Singleton.
Yes.
He had a great announcer's voice. He knows the game. He played the game. I love Susan Wallman. Remember Susan Wallman?
From WFAN, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Is she still around? Is she still doing those?
I think she is. I think at one point, they took off TV and put it on the radio, for Yankees. The Yankees. Yeah. That's where John Sterling is now. He's on the radio.
He's on the radio side, yes.
See, I like him better for TV too.
Yeah. But there's a lot of guys that rather do radio. And that could be that means that they don't have to wear a shirt and tie and everything. They could just, who knows what they could be doing that we can't see, so.
That's true. Yeah. Michael Kay, I'm not taking anything away from you. I mean, you've been there for years now, nobody's going to kick you out. The Yankees love him. The Yankee organization love him, so he's not going anywhere. But I just threw out my opinion.
I know. Yeah. I know how you feel about him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do we expect you back here tomorrow?
There's a 50-50 chance that I might do it. I was called on some late duty to do some other work, but let's see. I'll let you know something in the morning.
Okay.
Around 9 o'clock, I'll let you know something.
Sounds good to me. Okay, I guess we'll catch you. Hopefully, we'll catch you tomorrow morning.
Yes.
All right. Have a great night. Talk to you later.
Take care now.
Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here every Thursday at this time, and he brings you great news. I enjoy talking sports. I encouraged Brian one time to get his own sports show on social media, like we're doing here. And I said, look, look, not that I don't want you around, you know, but get your own show. And you could still, and if you want, you could stay here too. You know, I give him that option. If you want to, you could stay here too, you know, because he's knowledgeable about sports. He knows it well, and he should do it. But listen, again, if he decides to make that move and he still wants to stay here, he's welcome to it. It's his. He's locked in here. He's locked in here. Him and DJ Pete are locked in here. Now, if Brian's here tomorrow morning, he'll be here for the part of the 2020 feature, the first part of the 2020 feature, as 20 past the hour, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. DJ Pete 20 to the hour will, well, he has his part of the show, 20 to the hour, and he'll give you entertainment on people from notoriety of the entertainment world, and reciting all of those birthdays. But I know for a fact, not sure about Brian just yet. He's, like he said, he's going to give me that notification sometime before we go on air tomorrow. We'll be ready for it. But I know DJ Pete will not be here tomorrow. So DJ Pete left his information with us. This is what they do. You know, he left his information with us, and we're going to take care of all of that. And we'll see what happens with Brian. If not, Brian does the same thing, you know, and I'll just be a one-man show. I don't know if I can handle that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being along with us. And we're here. We've been here for what, over a half hour now, and we're just about finished with the show. We'll be here up until the top of the hour. And of course, we're going to bring you more information later on in the program as it comes along. We're going to give you that information on the movies that you love so much to add to your weekend. Of course, those movies, Turner Classic Movies, black and whites, 1940s and 50s and 60s, all of that. That's all coming up. And I have my picks for the week, for the weekend. I pick them for the week, for the weekend, just to add to your bucket list of whatever you want to do this weekend. If you decide that you don't want to do anything on the outdoor, or you don't want to do anything other than watch TV or something like that, I will have those movies for you. You can add to it. That doesn't mean you have to watch it, but at least you'll know about it. And that's what I do each week. I bring you all of that information, and then we'll see what happens then. So again, thank you for being along with us here on Talk Back Live. Okay? Okay, on this day in history in 1934, FDR signs the Homeowners Loan Act. On this day in history in 1937, the first commercial flight across the Pacific operated by Pan Am. On this day in history in 1952, Dwight D. Eisenhower resigns as Supreme Commander of NATO. On this day in history in 1956, the last French troops leave Vietnam. On this day in 1958, US Vice President Richard Nixon begins the Goodwill Tour of Latin America. Back in 1963, the 17th Tony Award, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. They won that year. And back in 1969, Northern Ireland Prime Minister Terence O'Neill resigns, and he's later replaced by James, how would you pronounce this? James Chichester Clark. There you go. There, spit it out there. Okay, back in 1980, Cyrus Vance, Carter's U.S. Secretary of State, he resigns. And actor Barry Manilow, I'm only seeing what I want to see. Actor Lionel Barrymore, that's who I meant to say. Actor Lionel Barrymore, legendary actor, was born on this day, April 28th, back in 1878 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He passed away November 15th, 1954 at the age of 76 from a heart attack. And back in 1930, actress Carolyn Jones, you know her from the Addams Family as Natasha, right? She was born in Amarillo, Texas. Back in 1983, she passed away. In 1938, actress Madge Sinclair, born in Kingston, Jamaica. Those of you who may know her, she was one of the stars on Roots back in the 70s, and she passed away in 1995. In 1941, actress Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret, you know her. Every man in the world knew Anne Margaret because she was the sex pot, the sexiest girl alive back in those days, so they say anyway. And she was born in Sweden. She's 81 years old today, 81 years old. Comedian Jay Leno was born on this day in 1950 in New Rochelle, New York. He's 72 today. Happy birthday to Jay. Actress, let's see, there she go. Okay, actress Penelope Cruz. Actress Penelope Cruz was born on this day in 1974 in Madrid, Spain. She's 48 today. Happy birthday. And born on this day also in 1981, actress Jessica Alba was born in Pomona, California. She's 41 today too. And 1970, actor Ed Begley, that's Ed Begley Jr., American actor. He passed away at the age of 69. And in 1973, actor Pat Henning dies at the age of 64. In 2005, Percy Heath, jazz bassist from the Modern Jazz Quartet, he passed away at the age of 81. And in the year 2020, R&B singer Bobby Lewis, for his big hit in 1961, Tossin' and Turnin', he dies at the age of 95. In 1967, media proprietor Rupert Murdoch weds journalist Ann Torf. And 1979, actor and comedian John Candy weds Rosemary Margaret Horber. And they wed at the Basil Church of right there in Canada, right there. To be precise, she was born in Toronto, Canada. That's where they got married, Toronto, Canada. And 1990, Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose marries Erwin Everly, and they got annulled that same year. And finally, 1994, Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley, separates from Danny Kehoe. And that's this day in history. And those of you who may know something that I don't know, or that I didn't say or mention, maybe I didn't know, and you know, that's what it's all about. That's what we're here for, to listen to what you have to say. Let us know and we'll just put it out there. History is very important. We go back in time with it, and that's the way it goes. Okay, all of you guys, I want to say hello to all of you guys once again who are watching us there on YouTube. We're live here, as you already know. Also on Instagram, we're live on Instagram. Of course, we're not live on Facebook until next week, but the good news is that next week we'll be back live on Facebook. In the meantime, after this show is over, we are going to take this live broadcast and we're going to post it later on tonight, right after the show, on Facebook as well. So you'll get a chance to see it, because a lot of people, as I said earlier, may not want to make the switch over from one place to the other. They want to stay one place. And so we'll give them the opportunity to see the show anyway, although it's not in real time, but at least they'll get the chance to see it. But we'd like you guys to join us live as we're here so we can talk to you too. But I can't wait for next week when we're back in action live. And all of you out there, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to seeing all of you guys out there. And for those of you guys who are joining us for the first time, as I always say, you've got to be part of us. Make it your weekly habit. Stay with us and let us know how you're doing, and talk to us. We talk live. It's live. You can talk to me live, right here on the air, live. And we always look forward to that. Okay, something else. You talk about social media. Right? You talk about social media, and we talk about it all the time. We have, everyone is involved in it, everyone. Some people, you know, may not want to be on Facebook and they rather be on YouTube, or maybe they just want to be on, I don't know, Twitter, you know, the other mediums. They have a lot of them. We have new ones too. They're all coming in. And they're all getting competition coming upon them, you know. And latest word today, well, a couple of days ago, you know, earlier this week, a gentleman by the name of Elon Musk. Do you know who he is? Well, if you don't know who he is, you're going to know now. Elon Musk, he acquired $44 million to purchase Twitter. The new owner. Now, I'm not sure, why the transition, but these things do happen. People buy out, people sell out. Maybe people retire, owners retire, and they just don't want to deal with it anymore, or whatever it is, or they have something better coming along that will generate even more money for them. I don't know. But $44 million for Twitter. And the thing about that, kudos to them. But the thing about that, people are starting to worry now, especially women. They're starting to worry now because, they're worried now whether certain people in the past that were on Twitter that got ejected from Twitter because of maybe constant racial overtones or sexual overtones or things like that. And of course, those are grounds to put you out and not return again. And certain people have been put off Twitter because of their stance on race. Oh, sure, they say, oh, this is a free country. We can say what we want. Sure, you can say what you want, freedom of speech. But of course, you don't want to hurt the other person. You want to use your speech wisely, so they say. And so they're worried now. They're saying, okay, we got rid of the scum, but now we got a new owner who by the way, happens to believe in free speech. We all do. But what constitutes free speech on his end? What does he mean by it? Do we now look forward to seeing the people who have abused and misused Twitter for certain things like racial and sexual overtones that bothered people or hurt people or offended people? Can those people come back now? Can they come back doing exactly what they did before? Women are, I understand women are more, worried about this than anybody else because now, everything is like, you've heard it in the past, even a Major League Baseball player even said something about women should be in their place, women should do this, women should do that, they should take care of the kitchen, and while the man's going out the way. This is not 1950 anymore. This is not the Donna Reed show anymore. Things change, but the old saying is the more things change, the more they stay the same, or they would like them to stay the same. And some people are still in that mentality where, it was good for the 50s, so we should keep it the way it was. Why change anything? Let's keep it the way it was. Keep things the way it was. Don't, and they blame things on the progressive, listen, everything is progressive. Everything is progressing now, and they don't want to change. And so, again, kudos to Mr. Musk. Kudos to you. You got something going, and he seems excited about it. But we got to see now where it's going to go. Everyone is sitting on needles and pins wondering what's going to happen now. Although are the scum of the earth who were like wiped out because of their stats, are they able to come back now, get that permission and come back now and use that platform? Right? I don't have to mention any names. You know that. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it all before. There was a lot of people that have done that. And so now we're worried. We're waiting. We have to see what happens. So that's another story that we'll talk about. We'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. But yeah, $44 billion. I might have said millions like earlier, but billions, $44 billion purchased Twitter. Okay. Now, if indeed something happens and it goes in that area, we don't know what the future is going to lie for Twitter. We don't even know what the future is going to be for Facebook. We don't know. You know, it's always something different, something's new. They changed the brand. We thought that it was going to be Meta. We thought the whole thing was going to be Meta, but it's like it's a parent, you know, it's Facebook, brought to you by Meta, right? So it's still Facebook. But as you can see that even though they did that, they changed the brand, but everything is still the same. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And of course, you know, in earlier months, you know, Facebook was accused of a few things, and people had really talked about it. People who are on Facebook, and even people who are on Facebook now, leave Facebook. I don't know that they leave it permanently, but in some cases, they just may shut down their account for a while to stay away from it because they don't like the drama. And there was a lot of drama in the early times, a lot of drama. Probably still is, it still is, but you know, me personally, I don't get involved in it. I'm on there for a professional purpose as doing the show and doing the show here on these entities like YouTube and Instagram, you know, so I'm here for that purpose. I'm not here to hurt anyone. I am not here to boss anyone around or threaten anyone. I'm just here just to do a wholesome, clean show that everyone can get involved in and try to keep the scum of the earth out of it, as they would call it. You know, we try to make sure that everyone that watches us, and everybody, listen, everyone that watches us doesn't really mean that they're on the up and up. You know, they could be racist, they could be sexist, they could be anything they want. Fortunately, I haven't experienced any kind of negativity in that vein because the saying is that what you put out, you get back. And so what we try to do here is we try to put out positive thoughts, have a good time, you know, give you news and entertainment, and talk about sports, and talk about anything that you want to talk about, politics, whatever your heart desire, we talk about it, but we make sure, and I have to be a referee on this thing. I have to be a referee. I have to make sure that everyone's clean. You know, take your battle. If you have some kind of battle of that sort, where you have to argue with people about anything, take that battle someplace else. I mean, there were many times on my Facebook page when I may, you know, throw out an issue, which could be an interesting issue. And whether you agree with it or not, you state it, you know, oh no, this is my opinion on this. And I welcome that. I always welcome that. But there were times when I would put out something and people would disagree with me, and I welcome that. And they would say why they disagree or this and that. And that's the end of it. But then you get someone else who will come in and read that disagreement, that they disagree with the person that disagreed, right? And they would say something, call them ignorant, stupid, a-hole, you know, things like that. And that's where I draw the line right there. And I remember I went out there one time and there was a big fight and I wanted to squash it right away. Now, I wasn't going to take down the post because it was an interesting topic. It was interesting because everyone joined in. The majority of the people that were there joining in were positive about what they were saying. They agreed, they disagreed, and that was it. But when one person, it only takes one person, right, to get a battle going, to get a brawl going, you know, and that person slides in there and says something, calls this person stupid, that person stupid. And that's when I have to horn in and say, ladies and gentlemen, this is a democracy. Everyone has a right to speak their mind. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Whether you agree with their opinion or not, that's fine. But just because you don't agree with them, that doesn't mean you call them names. And I just tell them just plainly, it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen here. I give them that warning. And the second warning is that if it's done again, then you're blocked. Simple as that. And from then on, I never really had a problem that way. And I just hope that it stays that way, because that, you know, I like I always like to be personal with people. You know, that's why I do this show. You know, you want to talk about something, we talk about it. And I have people come on the show to disagree with me. That's okay. It's okay. I'm not angry at you. I welcome that. I welcome that because it's healthy. You get something out of your system and you're diplomatic about it. And that's great. And I welcome that. So anyway, Mr. Musk, we'll see what happens. Your endeavor, you bought this thing out for $44 million. That's a lot of bread. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And so we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what happens. And I just hope, and this is my opinion too, and you guys could rebuttal, you can push back if you want, but I hope that they maintain what Twitter did in the beginning, leave the scum of the world out. And I say the scum of the world is because of the fact that, you know, you're not doing anyone any favors by jumping in and being racist, being sexist, or calling someone's name out using racial overtones. And a lot of it has happened. So you're not doing anybody favors. And so the way I see it is that as long as you're doing that, there's no hope for you. So you're the scum of the earth. You know, that's just the way I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and we've been here for a while. And I'm always appreciative that you have been with us for all of this time. You're so loyal being with us, and we really appreciate that because this is your home too. And again, I just like to tell everyone, all of you, you know, if you would, you go on to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it. This way, whenever we come on live, you'll get to see it. You'll get a notification there. It'll pop right up. Even while you're working, you'll see it. I was like, oh, he's on the air. Let me get right there. All you have to do is go right there. Or in case maybe we post a video, something interesting, you know, we put it right there and you can check it out and look at it. People comment on the videos too. People comment on a lot of things. People comment on the show, you know, and I welcome that. So you just keep doing that. Let's just be diplomatic about it. Be nice, play nice. All right, here we go. Well, as you already know, Vice President Kamala Harris, as you already know, contracted COVID just days ago. She's doing fine right now. She hasn't been, as far as I know, she hasn't been in touch with or in the company of the president just yet. I'm pretty sure she's being wise. She's a wise woman. She's smart, and she's in quarantine. She still works. She could work from home, you know. But they say she's doing well. She had no symptoms. So what does that tell you? No symptoms. She didn't have any symptoms. And but they check themselves, you know, maybe day by day or every other day or maybe every week. They take a test. You know, they have these home kits now that you could test, so there's no excuse. And so, you know, she had no symptoms. So what does that tell you? You know, you could be, I feel great. Who knows? I just took a test just the other day, just for the heck of it, and it came out negative. So I'm good for that. I'll take another one. I go to my doctor, I'll take one from him, and it comes out negative as long as it comes out negative. But that's the good thing. And the good thing too is that she was vaccinated. She was vaccinated and boosted twice. So that's the good plus on her part. So she's going to be fine, which leads me to tell you that it's good for you to get vaccinated as well. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, even the first shot, I think this is the time to do it. You know, cases are going up. You know, we're not as bad as we were before, but still in the range where we still should look out. And when you go to these public places like a restaurant or a bar, you want to wear your mask, you know, except if you're eating or something like that, or you're drinking or something like that, obviously. But you want to do that and you want to get boosted. They have some people are getting their second booster shot. Mine is not due until next month. So next month, which is right around the corner, just right around the corner, I will do that. And I encourage all of you to do it too. Okay, what about those movies that you like so much? Those Turner Classic Movies. Yeah, we got time. We got a little time, sure. We have them. And those of you who are looking something for the weekend, a lot of you are doing something. A lot of you may have really great weather this weekend and you want to do some outdoor stuff. That's good. That's good. But for the chance of you not wanting to go out, and even if you want to go out, right? I want to give the information to you anyway. This way you'll have it. This way you'll say, okay, at least, it's in my bucket list. Just because it's in your bucket list, that doesn't mean you'll follow it, but at least you'll have it. And this is what I want to start with right now. We have a movie coming out right now. Back in 1944, a movie called Laura, 1944, with Gene Tierney and Dana Andrews. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out this coming Sunday at 1:30 p.m. After you come back from church, it'll be right there waiting for you. Check it out. Here's another one back in 1953 with Marilyn Monroe, Lauren Bacall, and Betty Grable, a tune called How to Marry a Millionaire. You know that movie. You've seen that 1,000 times, right? Well, that's coming on too. That will be Sunday at 3:30 p.m. So I would assume that's directly after Laura. How to Marry a Millionaire, 1953. And here's one of my all-time favorite classic movies. Oh, I love it. Now, this is not the original, it's the remake, but this is the only one I know because I grew up with this movie back in 1959 called Imitation of Life with Lana Turner and John Gavin. And you can check that out. That's on Sunday too. That's Sunday night at 8 p.m. And it's right there on Turner Classic Movies. That's not the original one. The original one was done in 1934. And just for me to give you the scoop, you'll see the remake, which is 1959. And next week, we've got, I shouldn't say it, but I'll say it anyway, just for your information, the original. We have that original coming up. I'll let you know next week when that's coming on. But in the meantime, this way you could watch the original and you could watch the remake and compare. Now I saw both of them, so I could intelligently say that I like the remake better. Now I'm not good on remakes. I don't like remakes too much. All right, I don't like remakes. I don't like cover records. I don't like anything like that. But this is the one I grew up with. This is the only one I knew until later on in life when I found out there was an original one. And then I got to see that. But every once in a while, I'll go out the box and do something that's covered or remade or something like that. But this is the good one. So there you go. Let me repeat those movies again. You can check it out. Again, Laura, that's with Dana Andrews and Gene Tierney. And that's on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. How to Marry a Millionaire with Marilyn Monroe, Lauren Bacall, and Betty Grable. That's Sunday at 3:30 p.m. And again, Imitation of Life with Lana Turner and John Gavin. And of course, you can't forget the supporting actress, Juanita, what was her name? Juanita Moore, right? You'll love this movie. You'll love it. It's a great movie. And of course, Mahalia Jackson sings totally at the end of it, basically at the end of it. So anyway, that's on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, you can go to Turner Classic Movies and check out the banner. There may be other ones that you like, but those were my picks of the week. And I think you will like it. I hope you will like it, okay? Well, guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up for me today. I enjoyed the show so much. I hope you did too. I will be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. Hopefully, Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And that's part of the 2020 feature, the first part of the 2020 feature, 20 past the hour. And DJ Pete won't be here, but I'll cover for him on his part of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, with entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of all the people of notoriety. Other than that, you can check me out back here next week. How about that? We'll be back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern for more Talk Back Live. I hope you'll be here. Bring your friends along, your family, and everyone else. And we'll see you then. Until then, you guys have a great morning, great evening, afternoon, and a good night.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host, Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistance, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce, and I'm your announcer, Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.